For small things, silly things, getting food when she was not supposed to. So I think she developed this habit of small lies about tiny, unimportant things as a defense mechanism. But now, when she doesn't need it anymore, she has it built in as a habit and can't stop. It's a little... Yuri! I'm sorry, I was completely distracted. What did you ask? I was asking if you wanted to start us off for poems today. Oh, yes, gladly.
Alright. Yuri is calm it down with the developer commentary.
The sun, stand alone as a green field. Your arms spread wide to receive the sun, awash in heat, awash in light, enveloped by a power beyond you. Feel the summer heat on you, your brow. Your skin sweats as you stand. Your closed eyes still feel the light. The sun is taking over your body. This is why our ancestors thought it a god. It reaches into us, changes us. Its warmth, healing or killing. Its light, calming and blinding. We are at its mercy.
Wow.
This is not thy best work, but it's not terrible. I wanted to get across the raw power of the sun. The way it powers the whole world, and is vastly more powerful than our whole planet and everything on it. It abandons its symmetry a little too quickly, I think. But it's not awful. I was reasonably happy with it in the end. Just, I've done better. There's always a lingering feeling when you know you haven't reached your full potential. But it motivates to strive to do better. I'll just have to contemplate my next one especially hard.
So I think it was pretty cool, Yuri.
Oh gosh, thank you. I didn't think it was my best work.
Well, maybe not your best work, but you've written so much really good stuff that it'd be hard to say it's your best work. It's still really good and you should be proud of it.
Thank you, Natsuki.
Yeah.
She's so supportive. She found an honest way to acknowledge that it's not my best work while still lifting me up and encouraging me. She's so sweet. Oh, time for serious poem.
Lazy day. Summer is for lazy days when you can wake up and think, there's nothing I have to worry about. Nothing. Or not even a long-term project. No, there's nothing. You can just be and do what you feel like doing that day. Even if what you want to do is nothing.
Ah, that was nice. Sayori is very talented. The poem is mostly prosaic, even childish as usual. But there is, as usual, a hint of darkness. A fringe of black on the pleasant with white clouds. In that poem it was even more subtle than usual. Facially, the repetition of the capitalized nothing suggests a bleak nihilistic feeling. But beyond that, there is a feeling that the author sees that nothing is a good thing. Nothing represents rest, peace, tranquility. It is suggestive of her depression, or at least of her feeling weary. Beyond even the usual freedom from responsibility that is the facial topic of the poem, she wants to have nothing on her mind. Very clever. Oh, they're looking at me. I think the poem is very clever in its use of the nothing motif. It hints at a deeper pace with the summer than just the ability to lounge. A more mentally restful, calmer, blanker piece. Very interesting.
Alright, who's next? Can I go? Yes, of course.
Alright.
Ball time. I like balls. I like the way people all get together. You can splash strangers, and they'll laugh and splash you back. I like the way kids walk really faster on the edge, because they're not allowed to run, but they still want to go fast. I like when someone is barbecuing right there, and you can swim and then eat a burger. I like all of that. That was better than our poem from last week. Her poem last week was very primitive, very much a first attempt. It was clear that she had worked hard on it, but still it was obviously a rudimentary poem. This week I see she is trying to imitate us. Not in style necessarily, but in content. She has grasped what it is important for a poem to convey, that it represents a unique impression or feeling. She is still struggling to represent the feeling artistically. But even though she is just directly stating her impressions, it is being done poetically. It's a marked improvement for just 2 weeks. It means she was being very observant of everyone else's poetry last time. Very evocative, Ray. You have learned much in only 2 weeks. Your last poem was not bad, but this poem is really showing you're picking it up quickly. I look forward to seeing what you come up with next time.
Thank you, Yuri-senpai. That's super nice of you to say.
Of course.
I'll go next. Old summers. More. Got it. We're good. I've spent summers sitting in clover, spending 4 hours looking for a 4-leafed one with my friend. We never found one. I spent summers trying to learn to cook. Spending a day trying to invent my own recipe. It never tasted good at all. I've spent summers pretending to be things I wasn't, dreaming of being a hero that I'll never be. So much time wasted, but all of it worth it.
Oh, very interesting, MC. Bit of a nostalgic poem again, but this is a past-facing rather than future-facing. Was the friend Sayori?
The friend was Sayori. We used to love clover fields when we were little. I'm not sure why exactly.
Because they were cool. They were different from just grass.
True.
I think this poem's pretty interesting, MC.
Sayori, you'd think that almost anything MC writes is interesting. This is a fairly typical MC poem. A bit more uplifting than usual, perhaps. But on the whole, a very familiar kind of feeling comes across. That nostalgic wistfulness. Goodness knows how MC will react when he actually starts to grow into middle age. Assuming that ever happens, of course. But given how much he's grown as an artist, I can say I'd definitely want to read the poems he'd write then. Of course, I'd probably want to read everyone's poems, not just his. But his might develop in a unique way, given the way he thinks about poetry. And what, in his own mind, he considers compelling subject matter for it.
Alright, well, how about that scheme? We're waiting until last for you this time. I wasn't going to wait until last, thank you very much.
Time for Natsuki's poem. I have no idea what she wrote about. We have sort of an unspoken rule that we wait until the club to share our poems. It's nice to be surprised by what she writes for the first time in the club.
Alright. Hotter! Summertime is here, and it's getting hotter! Swimsuit time, beach time! Well, summertime is over, and it's getting hotter! I'm leaving the AC on in November! Winter's here, and it's getting hotter! Scarves are out, and December sandals are in! The years go by, and it's getting hotter! Our humanity is out, and jellyfish are in!
An unusually direct for a Natsuki poem. Still filled with cynical humanity distrusting resentment, of course. But here she has identified a specific ill, rather than just generally cursing the species. Global warming, to be specific. Terribly dreary and affirmatively despairing. But in the usual upbeat, tongue-in-cheek, mimic way Natsuki likes to do it. I'm beginning to understand that, for Natsuki, this is a coping mechanism. She's actually terrified by things like global warming, or a world being unreal.
Hey, lots of people are terrified by global warming. But you know, if they were a little more informed on the issue, they might not be so much.
Big problems like that trouble her severely. She tries to get out in front of it and laugh at the problem and it herself. She thinks if she calls herself doomed in advance, it won't be a shock when she really becomes doomed. Even though she already thinks she is doomed, I believe. I do not understand it fully. But her cheery cynicism is her attempt to deal with her own fear. And she is often afraid. But she always faces it. It is an amusing poem, beloved. What was it you said the other day?
You'll need to be more specific than that.
When we were talking about the types of humor.
Yes, Zoomer humor.
Right, that. It's like that.
Well, I'm happy about that then. Well, that's everyone but me done. Here goes.
Grab it, there we go.
And Panera, has the last summer finally come? I have cracked the wall of adulthood, and now will it finally shatter? A shifting summer, a cocoon summer, where we do not know who we are, while we rest, metamorphosizing, and we will, and will we ourselves spread, together as a glass of water before, now poured into a sea, where will we always remain joined, like fingers apart but meeting at the palm. This summer is a season of change, but some things will always remain.
That rarest of creatures, a genuinely heartwarming Monica poem. I was beginning to wonder if she was emotionally affected at all by her impending graduation. But clearly she is, although she has chosen to try to uplift all of us rather than feel saddened. Not what I would have predicted for a poem from her on this topic. I think it is interesting how she's pointed out this is their last summer, although I think most colleges still break for summer, right? But it's probably an instance of just lounging at home, enjoying our childhood. This is the last chance we'll get to do that. But still, that prospect does not really frighten me or sadden me that much. Like other members of the club, I feel ready to grow and move on. And Monica does too, it would seem. Or at least, she is not as regretful as perhaps one would expect. Although probably I should expect differently, given all the work we've done on this very project together. Although it's sometimes hard to tell if Monica wants to do this for herself at all, just because it's something she thinks she wants. It seems sometimes like she's of two minds about the question. Well, I'll be back with you in a while. I need to give feedback at next, and then poem time will be over. I especially liked the analogy of the fingers joining at the poem. That was a thoughtful way to represent separate but still joins. It's a somewhat unsettling poem, bringing the eminence of change to the forefront, but simultaneously comforting. I do feel grounded somewhat by the thought that we'll always be friends.
I certainly hope we will. That's what we always intend for us to be, no matter where we all end up next year. Well, shall we move on to free time? We have about half an hour to do whatever you like, and then we'll wrap things up until next time.
The club has dispersed. I know you often get to make this choice, but this time I myself will be involved rather than merely your viewpoint. I want Yuri to spend the club free period.
Oh, so Yuri's gonna wander around and enjoy these people, or join these people in their things. Well, let's save. So we can do all of them, perhaps. We usually can, but I'm just making sure. So you never know. Let's go pester Ri and Sayori.
You know, I'm not really sure. I've never really thought much about what to do when I grow up. It still seems really far away. I know it's not really, but it seems like it is. Well, don't worry about it too much. I was just curious. You still have plenty of time.
Although perhaps not as much as you feel like you have. It certainly sneaks up on you quickly, and it certainly doesn't hurt to think about it.
No, it doesn't. I just hope it doesn't sneak up on me too fast.
We will be graduating soon too, if we turn off the time loop for any length of time. I wonder what she will end up doing with her life. Hopefully we can stay in touch with her after we graduate. One of the nice things about turning it off is getting to see everyone else's progress, even people outside the club. I think Ria has a bright future ahead of her.
Ah, we do only get to pick one. Well, let's go back and see what the other ones are. Let's get this out of the way.
No, that's somehow the wrong choice. I can feel that my destiny has already been chosen. I must not fight against my destiny.
Really? They won't let me do that? Huh. Same with this one? Wow, we chose the correct option the first time by accident. Alright, fine.
I have the strangest sense of deja vu, but alright.
Alright, that's all for today. Gosh, next time is the last meeting of the club before graduation. Well, let's make the theme for next week time something light. Let's say write a poem about another club member. But not anyone you're actively dating, please. In fact, I'll assign them later to make sure it's quite equitable. Alright, I think that's all. I'll see you guys next time then.
Welcome back to my humble abode, everyone. Now this is my house, so I'm going to make a few ground rules here. Clear. First of all your parents know that there's going to be alcohol at this party. It's not a secret.
What?
Yes, even your dad knows.
There's no way he knows. He wouldn't have allowed it.
He did allow it after we discussed it, and I assured him that these ground rules would be followed. So yes, first of all, expect your parents to know, and to have approved thanks to your excellent teacher.
Thanks, Lucita.
Now, ground rule number 2. I will be watching all of you today and making sure you're all right. None of you will leave this house without my permission. If I decide you have to stop drinking, you have to stop drinking. Also, if I say you have to eat or drink water, you have to try to eat or drink water. Really, if I say to do anything to make sure you're safe and okay, you do it. Understood?
Understood.
Third of all, and very importantly, I will be providing the alcohol for you, except for the Merlot that Yuri brought. Other than that, it's all things we're about to go and buy. That said, right now in the fridge, there are several large cans of beer. Do not drink those. Those are mine. Clear?
Clear.
Alright, good. I'm going to head out and to do the alcohol buying. Any changes to what you guys want?
No, I think we're good.
Alright then. I'll be back in just a bit. Have fun while I'm gone. Don't drink any of Yuri's Merlot until I get back. And absolutely do not drink the beers in the fridge or else. Bye.
Well, about time for us to turn MC's spot on, then, I think. Now that terrifying speech from Asina is over.
She's just concerned for her safety, I think.
So am I, to tell you the truth.
Did you change your mind back about drinking? You don't have to, you know. I know I was teasing you a lot about it before, but I don't want you to feel uncomfortable or anything.
No, Bon, I haven't changed my mind. Or I'll still drink after all. I just feel a little nervous about it. What about you, Monica? You want to join me in the club of nervous drinkers?
Absolutely not. There's no way any of you are going to get me to drink. And that's okay. Someone here's gonna make you drink if you don't want to. Now let's see MC's mod. Otherwise we'll run out of time before Mercedes comes back with the drinks. Alright, let's get started then. As usual, don't say anything during the mod so the people watching us don't get confused. Here we go.
MC's mod. Club of Cthulhu, a tabletop RPG mod. Whoa. Are we about all ready to start?
Yeah! Hang on, I'm still trying to balance these character stats.
Oh, quit min-maxing and just pick something. The stats aren't that important.
The stats are always important! Come on, Natsuki, we need to get into character. Oh, for fuck's sake. We're not going to actually act as our characters at all times, are we? That's so cringe. I'm going to. Me too. Ah. Well, I'm just going to say that my character is doing. Or what my character's doing.
It's all equally valid. Are we ready to begin?
Looks like it.
Well, let's start introducing ourselves then. Just to tell everyone your character's name and a little bit about them. Starting with Monica.
Alright, here I go. My name is Jonathan Quinn, private investigator. I may have a slight alcohol problem, and I may be better at clubs since my wife left me. But I'm a handy with a gun, and I'm still the best darn private eye in this town.
Classic.
Glad to think so. Who's next? I'm Jessica Easting. I'm a super rich heiress. And a really good actress. And a debutante. I wear like fancy dresses everywhere. That sounds fun. Yeah. Although I'm really impractical. The dress might get caught and I'll die. But this is a role-playing choice I made. I'm very admirable. What about you, MC?